Hello everyone and welcome back to Football Forecast. In today's video I will be reviewing Galatasaray, Liverpool. And look, as a Liverpool fan, I'm furious with the result. We just weren't good enough today. It's simple as that. And I said before this game, after the Palace one, I wanted to see not just a good result, a good performance, because we've been lacking a good performance this season. A really good performance where we batter aside. And I felt like we had to do that today, and we got nowhere near that. We got neither, we lost, and we had a poor performance. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you could subscribe to the YouTube channel. So the lineup that Liverpool went with, I'm not that mad about this lineup. I thought it was a decent side to go out and win the game. The back four I was fine with, apart from I would have liked to see Bradley or Frimpong at right back, but he wanted to give Bradley the rest because we know Bradley's pretty injury prone. He's not exactly where he needs to be in terms of fitness, so I'm alright with starting Dom. I ideally would have liked to see Frimpong though there, but that is obviously because we wanted to give Mo Salah the rest, so we didn't go with. And we couldn't go with Chiesa because Chiesa's having a knock. So that's the created issues in that. And what I would have done is I would have put Szoboszlai instead of Wirtz because I think Wirtz just needs just to have a bit of time off. And I don't think Isak was fit to play two up front. So we just sort of did what I think a Slot could do with giving players, so dropping players and giving players a rest. And Curtis Jones played instead of McAllister, which I was fine with again. Where I wanted to see someone dropped was Konate. I think Konate needs to be dropped. I know the alternative is Joe Gomez. Leone's got an ACL, but that comes back to we just needed Gahey over the line in the summit. We couldn't quite do it, and that was the problem we had with the transfer business, and most people had the problem with the transfer business, is it looked great until you ignore the centre-halves. And if we just got a centre-half, and I think this game could have ended differently, and a lot of games may end differently this season, because Konate's off to Madrid. That's what it appears to me. I think Konate is off to Madrid based off his performance, based off how he's playing. He just has to be going to Real Madrid. There's just no other explanation for playing this badly currently. He's nowhere near where he needs to be, Ibu Konate, and it's so disappointing because he's such a good centre half when he's playing well. I mean, last year and this time of the season, he was playing so well next to Van Dijk and Alisson and goal. Those three were invincible, the back three. We're conceding no goals, despite having weak defenders at right back like Trent. It shouldn't matter the fact we have a fullback set go forward because we had no problem with it last year. Robertson was arguably worse than Kirkers in some games. So I don't think it's this fullback issue. I think it's Konate. It's a real problem, and Slot needs to sort this out because we're lacking creativity now, and now we're not being able to defend, and that just ends in one way. We're going to start dropping more points. And look, it's not a drama. We are still top of the league. And we did win our first Champions League game, so we're still probably going to qualify. But the performances aren't good enough, and I think this is where Liverpool fans are frustrated, they're annoyed, they're just concerned in general. We're not where we need to be. It was all right in the first couple of weeks when we were winning, but now we've stopped winning. Everyone's sort of starting to go, look, Slot's not been good enough this season, I don't think, as well. I'm ready to admit this now. I don't think Slot's tactics have been at his best. I don't think he's making mistakes. I think this is the first real sign. I think last year we sort of saw it right at the end of the season where Liverpool were struggling, but I think we could have blamed that on fitness. The players aren't that unfit, surely. I do think Slot is struggling as a Liverpool manager right now, and he's got to go back to the chalkboard and maybe just go back to what we were doing last season. So that means dropping Wirtz. That means dropping Frimpong. I mean, we dropped Frimpong. Go to Bradley. Go basically the system we went last year for now, and then you just have Ekitike or Isak up front. I think that would be fine, at least if Ekitike is fit, that is. And that's what I would do. I'd revert back to the old system for now at least, because it's clearly not working. I think he just needs to go back to what was working, and then if that doesn't work, then you can adapt, then you can change. But go back to what was working, but at the same time, there is a massive problem at right centre half, and that is Konate. That is the difference in some ways between us winning and losing games, but also just looking like a team that can play football. As much as I've just had a go at Arne Slot, I don't think a single one of these players played at a good level today. I think they were all below par, apart from maybe Curtis Jones and Alisson. Alisson couldn't do much about the goal. It's a penalty. I know it was straight down the middle, but you're asking him to read something off a penalty. Like it's unlikely that he's going to be able to save it. And I thought Alisson made a couple of saves at the start to keep us in the game. Apart from that, I don't think anybody else can really walk away. Unfortunately, the only other player that I thought it had some bright sparks with Hugo Ekitike, and both Alisson and Hugo Ekitike are carrying knocks. We've just heard by Slot that Alisson is almost guaranteed to be out against Chelsea. Mohamed is a good keeper, but he's not Alisson's level, and that is worrying for that away game at Stamford Bridge. Ekitike might be fit, is what he said. I think he said it's a potential that Ekitike plays. I think at least we've got great depth in that position and Alexander Isak, but I would like Ekitike off the bench, especially if Chiesa is not fit, because I think we may need Chiesa to play against Chelsea off the bench. Otherwise, we could be in trouble, because I don't know if Isak can get for a full 90, so I don't know what you do then. Just looking at the stats, look, it appears Liverpool deserved to win this game. I don't agree. I think a draw was probably the fair result, because obviously we had that penalty. That isn't a penalty. Like, it just isn't. I know he's touched him a little bit, but it's just not a penalty in the Premier League. Maybe in the Champions League we've seen that the rules are different, and that was sort of displayed throughout the game. The ref was letting a lot come. We basically just had to go down with a bit of contact. We got a penalty. It was obviously overturned. That wasn't a penalty either. So I just think that the ref did sort of ruin the game to an extent, but I'm not blaming the ref for this performance. The performance was atrocious. It was nowhere near good enough. And I think where we really went wrong, though, is how we sort of reacted after going 1-0 down, because we had chances. Galatasaray actually left a lot of space open, which is why I was predicting a high-scoring 3-1 game to Liverpool, because 3-2, sorry, because Galatasaray leave a lot of space, so that should have allowed an open game, and at points it was open, but when it was open, we just didn't take chances. We just didn't connect passes. It's just basic errors that aren't allowing us to play in the way we should, and that is concerning for Liverpool. Galatasaray, I thought some of their players were exceptional. Yilmaz was great in the first half. He also won the penalty. Look, it isn't a penalty, but he won it. He was also very much a threat down that left-hand side. I thought Osimhen obviously took his penalty very well. And there are other good players for Galatasaray, but no one played exceptional. No one played to an extent where it's like, oh, you can see why Liverpool haven't won this game. We weren't good enough, and I think Slot and Liverpool know this. And look, what we're going to do now, we've got to react, and we've got to win, or at least get something from that Chelsea game. I'm not saying we can draw that game. I think now it's almost a must-win. We need to go into that international break coming back with some confidence after winning against Chelsea, and Chelsea aren't playing well. That isn't like look, away at Stamford Bridge is difficult, but we can definitely win that game. Will we win that? Well, that is a different question without Alisson and Hugo Ekitike potentially, but let's see. Let's hope that the Reds can go on and win this game. If they don't win against Chelsea next, though, then there's going to be massive questions. I'm still willing to give Slot a little bit more time to sort this out, but I think if we don't win against Chelsea and then we struggle after the next international break, Liverpool are in trouble in terms of winning this title. I backed us to defend it, but I'm less convinced by the day right now. If you did enjoy this video, it'd be great if you could like and subscribe to the YouTube channel and let me know your thoughts on Liverpool's performance. Do you agree with me? Do you think it was better than what I'm saying? Or do you just think it was woeful like I sort of thought? And what are your thoughts going into the Chelsea game? Do you think we can win against Chelsea?